is for life. Unboxed.
Rupture disk responded, "No problem, I'm Philipp Filmer from REMBE and I'm a specialist in pressure relief systems. Today I'll show you how to replace a BT SFD-HL rupture disk. However, before we get started, we need to bear in mind a few important safety measures. As there may be sharp edges on reacted ruptured disks, gloves must always be worn here. Depending on the medium, it may be necessary to wear safety glasses. Helmets are mandatory in the indicated areas. In loud environments, hearing protection must be worn. Safety shoes must always be worn when working on plant components. To work on a plant safely, the process must be pressure-free. In addition, it is important to secure the main switch from being switched back on. Before starting work, the corresponding area should be secured. Ruptured disks must only be replaced by qualified employees. Depending on where they are installed, a second person may be required here. Read the corresponding operating manual before starting assembly work. We can now begin dismantling our test installation. Following a quick visual inspection of the flange and holder, the bolts are loosened. Once the ruptured disc and holder are exposed, the unit can be removed. Firstly, the pre-assembly bolts are loosened. It is then important to inspect the holder very carefully. Minor deposits, such as corrosion, can be removed with the help of a cleaning agent or, as here, with a fine abrasive sponge. The sealing surfaces to the flange are also inspected for evenness with the help of a set square. If the holder is in perfect condition, a new rupture disc is selected. The new rupture disc can now be selected using the tag plate on the old rupture disc. Particular attention should be paid here to the rupture disc type, nominal diameter, burst pressure and burst temperature. Once the right rupture disc has been found, I can open the packaging box carefully. The enclosed operating manual should be read thoroughly. The information about the torque can be found on the back pages. The torque is dependent on the flange periphery, the bolt size and the gasket to be used. The rupture disc should, where possible, only be touched on the tag plate or on the outer edge. It should also be checked for possible transport damage. If the rupture disc is also in perfect condition, it can be carefully inserted into the holder. The correct direction of the rupture disc and holder should be ensured. The direction arrows on the rupture disc holder and tag plate indicate the correct fitting of the rupture disc. The arrows should be pointing in the same direction. To finish, the pre-assembly bolts are fixed in place. The rupture disc unit can now be installed. However, the gasket should also be checked for possible damage or scratches beforehand. In the worst case, these could cause leaks in the process. The torque from the operating manual is now applied using the torque wrench. To prevent warping, we will tighten in 3 steps. Tightening in a cross prevents the rupture disc from tilting during tightening. To finish, the complete setup is inspected once again. Attention should once again be paid to the arrows and the corresponding process. If the installation is otherwise correct, the plant can be started up.